I'm going to call this Arrivederci Enrique. So a lot of talk has been made, even here on our programming, is about Mookie Betts potentially never suiting up in Dodger blue. We've also mentioned there are more than just names like Mookie Betts or Mookie and Betts that could be on their way out of L.A. Jock Peterson, for one, which is why he was on the trading block. Pedro Baez is another name that doesn't really get brought up and is more than likely not coming back because of his price tag. We talked at length about Justin Turner, about whether or not, LA fans would want him back and all that a few weeks ago. I think that was probably before the shutdown, but we have a video on that on our YouTube channel. Check it out, youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Subscribe. Thanks. But
thank you.
What about our beloved Kiké Hernandez? So Dodgers picked this guy up at the end of 2014, traded away D. Gordon in a trade that a lot of people still think hamstrung the team for some reason, even though we still have Kiké and Austin Barnes out of that trade. He's pretty much been a staple for Los Angeles ever since. So it's crazy to think about how far this guy has come in 6 years. And us three were talking about this earlier today. From the long-haired, curly, or the long-haired, chunky monkey Kiké we knew in 2015 and all that kind of stuff, 2014 or 15, 16 to, he became the Banana Man, and then the Madison Bumgarner, just straight killer, and then he was Chase Utley's son, and now there's whatever version of Kiké this is. I mean, he's still the same guy in his head, but Gary, I think you're the one who said it earlier. It was a full-on maturation of our belovable our beloved or lovable Puerto Rican. So belovable. It's a new word just for Enrique. But what does that future hold for Enrique Hernandez here with the Los Angeles Dodgers? And Brooke, you saw that he chatted a bit about that. I think it was with Vassay, right?
Yeah, I mean, he basically all he said was like, if he's talking about the 2020 season possibly being canceled, and he's like, that would really suck. Like, for the last time I suited up in a Dodgers uniform, that meant something to actually be the 2019 NLDS, which obviously was a huge disappointment for the players, for the fans, for the city. Like, we were not supposed to lose that series. We were supposed to dominate that series. And he's on his last year's contract. And I mean, if you're looking at it, like if you're really looking at it and you're looking at where the dollars are going and what he brings to the team and whether or not he's replaceable as a player, he's probably not a Dodger past this season. I really have a hard time believing that he's a Dodger past this season. I don't know if you have any different opinions on that.
No, he's 28. He's been like sort of handed the keys to second base, but they only paid the rent for a month.
Yep.
So he's never really had that honest opportunity to win and earn and win that and keep that starting job at second base. The dude wants to play somewhere, and him playing, getting 140, 160 plate appearances a year in LA in the long run isn't going to make him a lot of money. Dude's 28. He's a good talent. He's an elite glove wherever you put him. He's turned himself into an elite glove. He's only making $5.5 million this year.
He's also talked about several times that he doesn't want to be called that super utility guy. You can tell he's unhappy not getting the chance to hit against right-handed pitching. He wants to go somewhere where he's a starter. And looking at what he brings to a team, the value he brings in playing a bunch of different positions, he literally can play anywhere on the field if you put him there. He makes sense on a different team. He makes sense on a I don't want to say a lesser team, but Giants. On a lesser team. He fits on the Giants. Yeah.
He would be a starting shortstop, second baseman, even a center fielder for more than half, if not all of the teams besides the Dodgers in baseball. Like, the dude just fits anywhere, and a lot of teams would kill to have him.
Well, not only that, but if you look at it too, he's so there's different kinds of entertainment in terms of players. There's the Yasiel Puig entertaining type of player, and then there's the Kiké Hernandez entertaining type of player. The Yasiel Puig is like play with reckless abandon, that type of player. Yeah. Very entertaining, can be difficult to manage for sure. Then there's the Kiké Hernandez, which is like, I'm going to goof around, have fun, but I'm not going to hurt anybody in the process. It's not going to slow anything down. It's not going to mess up management. It's not going to mess up my progress. Nothing's going to get in my head in terms of coaching issues. Like that's never going to be an issue. So he's entertaining. Fans like him. He's obviously like a fan favorite with the Dodgers, and he's pretty much been that since day one of him playing here. And so if you look at the value he brings, you look at the fact that he can play everywhere, the fact that he is a personable player and people like him. I mean, to bring him to a lower market team right now, a team that's not necessarily rebuilding, but maybe is somewhere awkwardly in between where they don't know whether to rebuild or build. And Gary, you said the Giants, and I think the Giants fit perfectly for him next year. I mean, you look at the number of guys who are going to be off that team next year. It's going to be a really young team for the next couple of years, and that's the direction that they're heading. He makes sense there. He's going to make more money there. Yeah, he's not going to get paid here. We have way too many guys that we're going to have to pay over the next 3 to 4 years. Like a lot of dudes that we got to pay over the next 3 to 4 years. So this is the last year of Kiké Hernandez in a Dodger uniform, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for what he's brought. He had some huge moments, big moments in Dodger uniform. I mean, you think about the championship game, like that moment will go down in Dodgers history forever. If you look at that, well, that's going to be one of those things that you watch on the highlight reel over and over and over again for the next 40, 50 years, because that was his moment. Like everybody has a signature moment in a Dodger uniform at some point. That was his signature moment. He hit 3 home runs. We destroyed the Cubs in that last game, sent us to the first World Series since 1988. I remember feeling so hyped that game and so conflicted that it was because of Kiké. I was like, this is weird, this is foreign to me, but I love it. I'm all in. Let's go. We're going to the World Series.
Like he said, it was such an incredible game. They made a utility closet for him at Wrigley Field. There was a specific room just for him. Of course, he said it in jest, but there's the realistic side of it of, he's most likely not coming back. Just professionally, fiscally, it does not make any sense for the kid to come back to LA. Personally, I'll pose the question to either of you guys. Do you want him back?
Let's say he came back on a very similar contract, which is not realistic at all. Then yeah, for sure. But if he's a $10 million a year guy, which he very well might be a $10 to $14 million a year guy, then no, I'm okay. I'm fine without that. If there was no money involved, I would love to have him back on the team. Absolutely would love to. But there's money involved.
Well, I mean, it's not your money, so.
It's not, but it is.
You guys know I've been rooting for him for the last 2 years. He's like my breakout player at the beginning of each year. I always thought he was a fun player. But here's the thing, like, I think a lot of people remember how goofy he was when he first started as a Dodger and how what a comedian he was, a good, lighthearted, glue-type player for the team. But if you really look at the last 2 to 3 years, after the Chase Utley factor, he's chilled out a lot. He doesn't goof around as much, and he's not going to do that. Like, let's say if we re-sign him, he's not bringing that fun Kiké anymore. This is serious Kiké now. He wants to be a real baseball player, he wants to be taken seriously, get paid seriously, be given full-time serious play time. I think we're not getting the old Kiké if we re-sign him, and that's the stuff that I think a lot of Dodger fans love. He's eye candy for a lot of the ladies, and some of the guys. It could just be. Something that's
for the
great.
General audience.
Yeah, for the general audience. He's fun, but it's kind of... This is the thing that Dodger fans are going to have to get used to. This is the downside of having a great farm system, because Gavin Lux just made him expendable. And that's why we're going to have to deal with this with Jock and Pedro and a lot of the other players coming up. This is what's going to happen. I wouldn't re-sign him just because, we have a Gavin Lux.
CT3 signing that 2-year deal too also kind of spells more of, hey, this is going to be the guy we go to.
Because realistically, looking at those two guys, they're the exact same player, just in different bodies. That's all it really is. Kiké's a Chris Taylor light, I guess. I don't even know what you would call him, but I mean, Chris Taylor signing a contract that it is basically a $5 to $7 million deal each year is like. Yeah, Kiké's gone. That's the guy who's they're going with for the rest. If they have all those young guys coming up, all these positions are already filled. It doesn't make sense to overpay for both of those guys.
Yeah,
you pick one, you pay that guy whatever he gets paid. Luckily, Chris Taylor didn't want much or didn't bargain for much, so Well, he got the better end of that deal, I feel like, because I think Kiké is going to get paid more money than that.
Well, Dodgers Nation, you guys let us know. Does Kiké Hernandez see any more time in Dodger blue beyond this year? Does he end up signing with an NL rival, an NL West rival? What is the worst color he could possibly end up in? You guys let us know in the comments below, and we'll be looking forward to checking those out.